Hello everyone, I'm Claire and I'm back with Mental Health Chats, and the series that we're starting today is on menopause. Today we've got Lauren Chiren with us. Hello Lauren, how are you going?
Good, thank you. And you?
I'm very well, thank you, and thank you for joining us. The reason why I'm doing the menopause series is because every year it's World Menopause Day on the 18th of October. So we want to bring the realization of menopause into our lives. And Lauren works with corporates supporting people through menopause. So we're going to talk to Lauren today about how menopause can affect your mental health. So Lauren, can you first of all explain to us what you actually do?
Of course. So just to give a bit of context, going back a few years ago, I went through about 18 months of a lot of confusion and memory challenges, focus, concentration, self-esteem, self-confidence issues. And I left my job thinking I had early onset dementia. So imagine my surprise when I discovered I had just been through early menopause. So that set me out on a path to make sure that employers actually learned what menopause was, and that we educate women as well so that they know where to get the right help and support, because it's really through ignorance and lack of knowledge that a lot of these things arise, and there's so much we can do to help ourselves. So to answer your question, I support and educate employers to understand what menopause is, create policies and guidance documents that are appropriate for that population. And I help them understand what sort of reasonable adjustments to put in place, what the demographics of women are in business, because women aged 50 plus are the fastest growing economically active group in the UK. And that's pretty much consistent across the Western world. So that's one part. The other part is basically taking every opportunity like this, so thank you, to get the word menopause out there. And because the more confidently you can say something, the more comfortable you become with it, and therefore the easier it becomes to talk to other people. And then the other part is I run group programs for women to help them upskill.
Wow, that's fantastic work. So you've explained to us a bit that you went through early menopause and you thought it was dementia. So why exactly are you so passionate about what you do, Lauren? Because I've seen you speak and you are extremely passionate about your work. So why?
I think just, like all women, we have hormones that run around our bodies. Like everybody, we have hormones running around our bodies. But I had sailed through everything to do with monthly cycles, fertility, pregnancy. I was one of those, jammy women that never really struggled as a result of those things. And to be honest, in hindsight, I sort of, I'm very grateful. But menopause came along and slapped me in the chops, and I didn't know what was going on with me. And I basically walked away from a very lucrative career, a very senior role, doing something I loved doing. And if I'd been more educated and aware of where to get help and support, maybe I wouldn't be sitting here I wouldn't change what I'm doing for all the tea in China. But maybe, excuse me, one, I'd have been able to help and support myself. And two, I'd have had choices that I didn't think I had at the time. So I just don't feel that in this day and age, any woman should go through what I did.
Oh, that's lovely what you've just said. So thank you for sharing that. So let's think about mental health. How can menopause affect women's mental health?
Yeah. So if you think menopause is all tied into our hormones and how they're changing as we're coming out of our fertile years. And estrogen plays quite a significant role in so many body functions and cognitive functions. So it's really linked with our cognition, our heart health, and our brain health, and our bone health, sorry. And we're used to that kind of monthly flow of estrogen. We know when we're more creative or maybe a little bit more edgy, or we need to hide ourselves away from other people. During menopause, the fluctuations in estrogen are typically fairly unpredictable. And that means that our ability to kind of manage our emotions and moods and mental health throughout the month go out of our normal kind of window. And that can leave us feeling adrift. It can leave us not quite sure what's going on. And it's a time in life when we've got a lot of responsibility. We might have families, children, we might have elderly relatives, be holding down a job. And that sense of just not being in control, it could be the first time for a long time that you've not felt connected with yourself, let alone with everyone else around you. So for me, I'll use me as an example, and this is what my clients say to me regularly, they feel like they've lost themselves somewhere along the way. And they can feel like their anxiety levels have kind of crept up and up, where they felt anxious for the first time. I was speaking to one of my clients who's a consultant yesterday, and she, although she's a medic, she's like having these palpitations and couldn't figure out what it was. But actually, when she's in the middle of getting properly checked out, which is the right thing to do, but there's a strong possibility that that's connected with menopause. So you can start experiencing everything like low moods, depression, anxiety, actually a mild sense of paranoia that just leaves you not feeling like you are your normal self. And it's not what we think of menopause, right? We think about hot flushes and night sweats and maybe a bit moody, but we don't think about paranoia and palpitations and anxiety attacks.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Thank you for that. So let's think about some takeaways that we could have for all of our viewers. So what would you say are some takeaways that if you knew then what you knew now, what advice would you give yourself?
So there's so many takeaways. The top tips are slightly endless. So the key ones, if I was pushed, I would say if we're focusing on mental health, it's about talking. It's about finding that trusted person to talk to. Don't hold it in. Finding someone that's going through something similar, being through someone similar that can mentor you or just support you and hold that space. Find a network or a group that you've got lots of like-minded women that are sharing what's going on, and you've got some advice or some information that's factual and not just scary stuff that you find in Dr. Google. Talking, number one. Secondly, looking after yourself. So being well hydrated, well nourished, surrounding yourself with great positive people. Do a bit of a people audit. Check to see who's in your life and make sure the closest people in your life are lifting you and supporting you. And then the third one, I guess, would have to be breathe. Every time you can feel that kind of, that anxiety level just beginning to creep in, just let the shoulders go down. Just gently sit for a couple of minutes and breathe in and out slowly. There's nothing fancy about it. We're doing it all day, every day, but just concentrate on it for a couple of minutes. And definitely talking, looking after yourself and breathing are my 3 top tips for today.
Fantastic for those. Thank you for those 3 tips. That's brilliant. So to sum it up, we need to look after ourselves when we're going through hormonal changes. So we've got 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗃, who is going to join us on our next mental health chat on menopause. And Catherine will be talking about menopause and hormonal depression. It's a very hot topic and it's something we need to be aware of. That's why we've got World Menopause Day on the 18th of October every year. So thank you very much, Lauren, for your time. Great takeaways there. And Lauren is accessible on her LinkedIn page, so I will put the link to her LinkedIn page in the comments below if you would like to have a chat to her and contact her. Thank you.
Thanks, Clare.